Dave froze. His hand tightened around his tin cup. A strange sound. Out there in the darkness, beyond the flickering light of their campfire.
What is it, Dave? Tom asked, his voice barely a whisper.
Dave strained his ears. The sound came again, a shuffling, like something dragging through the sand, getting closer.
I don't know, Dave breathed, his heart pounding in his chest, but I don't like it.
The night was alive with unseen things. Every rustle of wind, every snapping twig sent shivers down their spines. The shuffling sound grew louder, closer. Dave and Tom huddled closer to the fire, their faces pale in the dancing flames. They could feel their pulses quicken, their breaths grow shallow. The air grew thick with fear. A shadow flickered at the edge of the firelight, long and twisted. It vanished as quickly as it appeared.
Dave gripped Tom's arm. Did you see that? He whispered, his voice trembling.
Tom swallowed hard, his throat dry.
Maybe it was just the wind, he said, trying to sound brave.
But he didn't believe it. Neither did Dave. The fire crackled, sending sparks spiraling into the night sky, and then they saw it. A figure, standing just beyond the reach of the firelight. Tall and menacing. Its eyes glowed an eerie red.
Dave gasped.
Tom's breath hitched in his throat. They were paralyzed with fear, unable to move, unable to scream. The figure took a step closer. Dave's mind raced. They had to get out of there. Now, he nudged Tom and whispered urgently.
We have to go! Run!
Tom nodded, his eyes wide with terror. They scrambled to their feet, their movements clumsy and panicked. Dave grabbed their backpacks, his hands shaking so badly he almost dropped them. They glanced back at the figure. It was still there, watching them, waiting. Its eyes followed their every move. This was no time for hesitation. They had to disappear into the darkness. They bolted, running blindly into the night, their backpacks bouncing against their backs. The sound of their own ragged breathing filled their ears. The ground was uneven, strewn with rocks and scrub. Dave tripped, falling hard. He scrambled back to his feet, ignoring the searing pain in his ankle. They couldn't stop. Not now. Behind them, they heard a guttural growl.
Did you hear that?
The sound sent chills down their spines. The creature was after them. Headlights cut through the darkness. A truck engine roared in the distance. Hope surged through Dave.
Could it be? Are we saved?
The truck screeched to a halt beside them. A rugged-looking man jumped out, his face etched with concern.
Are you boys all right? What are you doing out here in the middle of the night?
Help us. Something is chasing us.
The man's eyes narrowed. He scanned the shadows, his hand resting on his hip as if reaching for a weapon. The man, sensing their terror, wasted no time. Get in, he commanded, ushering them toward the truck. They piled into the vehicle, their bodies trembling, their hearts pounding. The man slammed the doors shut and jumped behind the wheel. The truck lurched forward, tires spitting sand as they sped away. Dave dared to look back. In the distance, silhouetted against the faint glow of the receding headlights, the figure stood, watching. The man pushed the truck harder, his jaw set in grim determination. He wasn't taking any chances. S1. Media. Man breathing heavily in a vehicle, close-up of determined face in night setting. They drove in silence for what felt like hours. The desert stretched out before them, a vast and unforgiving landscape. The sky began to lighten, the first hints of dawn painting the horizon with streaks of pink and orange. Dave's fear slowly gave way to exhaustion. He leaned back against the seat, his eyelids drooping. They were safe now. Whatever that thing was, it was gone.
You boys are lucky I found you. This desert can be a dangerous place at night.
Dave and Tom exchanged a nervous look.
What was that thing?
Dave asked, his voice barely a whisper. The man shrugged.
There are stories, legends, things that go bump in the night, things best left undisturbed.
He didn't elaborate, and they didn't ask him to. Some things are better left unknown. The sun rose higher in the sky, bathing the desert in its warm glow. The horrors of the night seemed to fade with the darkness. They reached a small town, a dusty outpost on the edge of nowhere. The man pulled up at a diner.
Come on, let's get you boys some breakfast.
As they climbed out of the truck, Dave glanced back at the vast desert. Somewhere out there, hidden in the shadows, the creature lurked. But for now, they were safe. Over coffee and pancakes, they told the man their story. He listened patiently, nodding his head in understanding. He didn't question their fear. He didn't dismiss their encounter as a figment of their imaginations. He knew the desert held secrets, secrets best left buried. As they finished their meal, the man handed them a card with a number scribbled on it.
If you ever need anything, don't hesitate to call.
And with that, he was gone. Dave and Tom looked at each other, their eyes filled with unspoken questions. What had they encountered that night, and what other secrets did the desert hold?